Namaste, dear ones, and good morning to you. My name is Niene Pugliano, and I am the creatrix and owner of Urban Oracle. It's a snowy egret behind me, gorgeous. And I want to talk to you today about this buzzword, this word that makes so many people uncomfortable, which is the word witch. So I'd like to share with you my take on the word witch and what Urban Oracle stands for when it comes to this aspect of witchcraft. Now, Urban Oracle isn't necessarily a witchcraft shop or a witchcraft website, witchcraft business. It's an esoteric arts business. I guide people and mentor people through esoteric arts. I can explain esoteric arts in a language that most people will understand so that it can become accessible to them. But that being said, I do identify myself as an eclectic witch. And I didn't have the language for being a witch growing up. It wasn't a part of my upbringing or a part of my culture, so I didn't realize I was a witch my whole life until way later in life as an adult, where I was introduced to witchcraft from a very different lens, and then I realized that, holy crap, everything I've studied and everything I've learned and everything I've been drawn to and everything, like, I've been a witch this whole time and I didn't know. So, and not just in this life, like, long time. It's been a part of me for a long time. So what does that word mean to me? So witchcraft to me is about living in harmonious relationship and in connection with all things. I mean, within myself, with others, with the planet and all her beautiful creatures and creepy crawlies and all the birds and everything. It's being in relationship, living in relationship and harmony and in reverence and respect to the elements, to respecting Mother Nature's need to have her release when we ignore her for millennia, that everything, that nature's balance. And I respect the balance of nature, the whole life, death, and rebirth cycle. I respect that it has its place, it has its value, and that it's necessary. The balance is necessary. How can we show up and participate with nature and with the voiceless, with the creatures in nature who need our support and our help because they're dying out? And it's also about tapping into, the deepest truth within yourself. And where are you suffering? Where are you hurting? Where do you have traumas and triggers within yourself, or shadow work? Where do you have places deep within the roots of yourself that need healing? And witchcraft is about learning how to heal your shadows or do shadow work, how to do shadow work, to mend your past, to to nurture your present, to safeguard your future. And it's also about how to better relate and connect with others. Nature is relationship. Nature is connection. So witchcraft is about how to better relate and connect with all things in existence. When I speak of witchcraft, or when we talk about witchcraft as it pertains to my business, Urban Oracle, we're talking about a lineage and a practice and a way of participating in the world that does no harm. Like I said, living in harmonious relationship with all things. So when you hear the word witch, you automatically assume they assume that if you're a witch, it means that you curse people, you hex people, and you're in league with the devil. Sadly, there are people who identify as witch, and they do participate in curses. They don't have a problem cursing someone or hexing someone, or they're witches who will use curses or hexes as a last resort. That's what they claim. And there are people out there who create relationships and form bonds with darker entities. That topic really hurts my heart, and my naive, kind of Care Bear-esque, heart-centric nature was really disheartened to hear that there are witches. There are witches that exist today, self-identifying witches who do work with not necessarily the devil, but a devil, and that's who their mentor is. That's who they rely on to guide them. And it really hurts my heart, and it really crushed me to learn that that's not something that's just in the movies, that it's real and it's out there. So just like there are self-identifying Christians who shoot up schools or blow up buildings, or self-identifying religious people who commit unspeakable acts, it's the same. There's good and bad no matter how you identify, or no matter what your beliefs are. There's people who are good following that belief system, and then there's people who do terrible things. I don't believe any person's bad, but I do believe there's people who do bad things. I think there's a difference. So they are a reflection of how they were raised. People who do bad things are a reflection of the love they were denied. They're a reflection of the lessons they did not learn. They're a reflection of the protection and care and kindness and compassion they did not receive. So sadly, there are witches out there who do fit the mold of the centuries of witchcraft, executions and slaughters and murders that happened all throughout history. But not all the people who died at the witch trials were actually witches who actually did bad things. A lot of them were just regular people. They weren't even witches at all. Most of the people who were executed were accused based off of superstition and gossip and nothing else. So it was a huge female persecution, really, more so than anything else. And that's not to say men weren't persecuted, but thousands upon thousands more women than men. Okay, less than 100 men were executed, and we're talking hundreds of thousands, and even some historians are debating millions of women were put to their death. So witchcraft is considered the oldest religion. I use that word loosely, but that's how they describe it. It's the oldest religion on the planet, and it's because it predates religion. It predates people capturing thing in books. It predates writing. People had to live in relationship to nature to survive. The further back in time you go, we have really forgotten where we come from. And we have forgotten how to participate and to give reverence and to give thanks and gratitude to the land that's sustaining us. The food that keeps us alive, the air we breathe that keeps us alive, the ground we walk on, the shelter we take, it all comes from the planet. So to ignore the planet is foolish. Like, we will pay the price for that. Absolutely, as a species, we are definitely going to pay the price for ignoring the planet. We've forgotten how to live in relationship and in connection with the land. And the longer you're away from it, the more stress, the more fear, the more anxiety, and the more disconnectedness a person experiences and feels. But the more you participate with nature, the more you unplug. And that's ironic for me to say, considering I'm talking to a cell phone right now, recording myself, but you know what I mean. But the more you unplug and the more you get out in nature and open your ears, open your eyes, sense what you feel in your skin, smell what you smell with your nose, open up your senses and just go exist. Even just sitting in your backyard, close your eyes and listen. You will find more peace, more connection, more joy, and tranquility flood your entire being. And it's because this is where we come from. We're a part of this world just as much as the duck, the fox, the bear, the moose, the birds, the lizards. We're just as much a part of this world as they are. We share it. We can tap into the same instincts and the same knowingness and the same connectedness that wild animals can. We used to be wild as well. And, you know, the more our brains developed, the more we kind of got this superiority complex, and we started thinking we're better than the wild, and we went in this whole other direction. You know, we are a species that likes to create and discover, and that's cool. But sadly, it came at a cost. It came at a cost to us as a species. And so we suffer. Humans, I feel we suffer more than any other creature on the planet. We are a species of sufferers. And it's when we tap back into nature and we reconnect with nature that we discover and realize that there is so much tranquility and joy to be had in this world, and how beautiful and relaxed and happy we suffering humans can feel if we just reclaim the relationship we once had, so that our ancestors had so long ago with nature. So witch is about relating to everything around you. So we here at Urban Oracle, we do not support cursing and hexing. We don't. We don't take on clients who do that, and we don't do it ourselves. Never would, ever. We combat negativity and meanness, and we combat everything with love and kindness and goodness and support and positivity, and recognizing that when someone's being harmful and lashing out at us, we recognize that that's a person who's suffering and is in need of our help. You know, maybe they just need someone to listen. Maybe they just need to be seen or to be heard. So, very long explanation about Urban Oracle and my, Niene Pugliano's view on the word witch, but it's just a word that describes a very old way of connecting and listening and speaking and relating to everything around us. So I hope you make it out into nature today. I hope you're able to unplug and to spend some time in this beautiful world that we live in that doesn't involve electronics or concrete, processed food, cars. I hope you have a beautiful day, everyone. Namaste, many blessings, and I look forward to being of service to you really soon.